Ms. Mitchell was a dedicated fifth-grade teacher. Every day she would enter the classroom with a radiant smile and tell her students, "I love you all." However, the students often doubted the depth of those words, especially when it came to Henry. Henry was strikingly different from the other children. His clothes were often unkempt, his shoes dull, and the stains on his collar told a story of neglect. In class, he remained as still as a statue, staring vacantly out the window, lost in a world of his own. Miss Mitchell found him unbearable. Over time, her frustration deepened into a sharp dislike, and she began to pick on him in front of the entire class. When the mid-year exams arrived, Henry's performance was disastrous. Miss Mitchell saw this as an opportunity. She decided to write a scathing letter to his family, criticizing his character and blaming his lack of effort. As she wrote, she felt a sense of relief, as if a heavy burden had been lifted from her shoulders. However, school policy required the headmaster to review any correspondence sent home. After reading the letter, the headmaster was troubled. He called Miss Mitchell into his office and said gently, "Miss Mitchell, you have written only negative things about Henry. Is there truly nothing good to say? Please, try to find at least one positive trait." Miss Mitchell replied defiantly, "Sir, I have written exactly what I have seen. There is simply nothing good about him." The headmaster did not argue. Instead, the next day, he placed Henry's past progress reports on Miss Mitchell's desk, driven by curiosity. She opened his third-grade report and was stunned to read, "Henry is an exceptionally bright, cheerful, and wise student." Her heart skipped a beat as she opened the fourth-grade report. It read, "Henry's mother has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. He is under immense emotional strain." At the bottom of the report, there was a personal note from the previous headmaster. "Henry's mother is no longer with us. We must all stand by Henry to ensure the light in this child's life does not go out." Tears streamed down Miss Mitchell's face as she closed the files. She realized that Henry wasn't a bad student. He was a child carrying a mountain of grief. She felt a profound sense of remorse for how she had treated him. The next day, when she entered the classroom and said, "I love you all," the words were no longer hollow. They came from the depths of her soul. When she looked at Henry, she saw him through a new lens. From that day on, she devoted extra time to him, nurturing not just his studies, but his broken spirit. Under her care, Henry's dormant talents began to flourish. By the end of the year, Henry surprised everyone by topping the class. At the farewell ceremony, the students brought gifts for their teacher. Henry brought a gift too, but it wasn't wrapped in fancy paper. The other children snickered at the sight of it. When Miss Mitchell opened it, she found an old bracelet with missing stones and a bottle of perfume that was half empty. While the others mocked him, Miss Mitchell silences them by putting on the bracelet and dabbing some of the perfume on her wrist. Henry approached her and whispered, "Miss Mitchell, today you smell just like my mother." Overcome with emotion, she pulled him into a tight embrace and whispered back, "I pray you become a great man." Henry, never forget your adopted mother. Years passed and Henry moved on, but he never forgot Miss Mitchell. After every major academic milestone, he would send her a letter expressing his gratitude. One day, long after Miss Mitchell had retired, she received a wedding invitation from Dr. Henry, along with a plane ticket. At the wedding, Miss Mitchell watched as the boy she once dismissed stood as a successful man. Henry led her to the front and introduced her to everyone, saying, "This is my mother." With tears of joy, they embraced. Miss Mitchell finally realized the profound impact a teacher's empathy can have on a shattered life. The moral of the story: never judge a person by their outward behavior or appearance. Behind a cold exterior, there may be deep, hidden wounds. Compassion, empathy, and kindness have the power to transform lives and heal the brokenhearted. Thanks for watching.